Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here today. And this reading is going to be timeless. Whenever you will find it, it will be mostly in divine timing. You know, I started the readings with my woodland wardens because it's a long time I don't use it. And what came is the horse and the bluebell. This really represents the long run. A horse can really go for many kilometers during days. So this is about stamina. This is about not giving up. This is about continuing to do the great work and not expecting results. This is like working quietly and consistently. Always show up. And in the end, what matters the most is not the end goal, but what we really did to achieve that end goal. So the journey is what we are here for. So it is worth it to live this journey and go on without many troubles, without so many bad thoughts about what could happen, what couldn't happen, what should have happened, and take what comes in a peaceful way. And the more peaceful we become, and the more we are able to nurture. The first tarot card that came is the High Priestess. This is about intuition. This is about getting downloads from the other realm. And we always get those downloads. But sometimes we don't realize we are doing it. And sometimes we don't pay attention because we are too distracted into the world that is very hard to get what our guides, our messengers, our angels are telling us. And sometimes it could be quite frustrating because we don't know where we are going and we don't see. But we don't need to see. This is about having the courage to give, having the courage to show up every day. And showing up without expectation is a beautiful thing. When you learn to do so, your life becomes easier and easier because you don't expect anymore. We live in a world that is based on expectations. And we also expect many times things from other people. We expect people to behave in a certain way. We expect even our dear ones to behave in a certain way, to do certain things. And imagine what happens when they don't do it. We get into anger. We get into frustration. And those states are not allowing us to be in the best emotional state. But, we got the card Death and Rebirth. This shows that everything that happens has, in a way, a positive consequence because we learn something from that. And the most important thing that I was thinking about is we shouldn't make the mistakes more than once. When you made a mistake and you realize like, okay, I made a mistake. This is a mistake. This was a big mistake. I don't want to do it again. Because if I do it again, it means that I didn't learn anything from it. And we are here to learn. And so in a way, this Death and Rebirth shows that there will be many deaths and many rebirths in this lifetime. We need to be ready to, even if we fall down, even if we fall in a place where we don't want to be, to get up and continue. Get up and take the lessons with us that are the important things and allow ourselves to be wrong, allow ourselves to make mistakes. Because you may be in a position where you don't allow yourself to make mistakes. And then you feel guilty for your mistakes. You feel guilty because you should have done that or you could have done that. And this doesn't allow you to go on with life, with peace, with ease, with tranquility. And this is what I found out was very important for me. Every time that I made some mistake, my ego was kicking me and I was feeling bad. And that feeling bad made me realize with time that it's okay to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Why should I even think about being perfect? Nobody's perfect here. Perfection is just when you go on, no matter what happens, and you take every lesson with ease. And for me, sometimes it's still a state that comes back. But now I see it. I see when I give guilt to myself. And I try to avoid it. I try to live with more peace and saying, like, okay, what it's done, it's done. I don't have to make my future worse or my present worse because I made a mistake in the past. We are living in between. We are always thinking, anxious about the future and guilty about the past. And we don't really living in a peaceful way. And so today is about start living in a peaceful way. And if I made a mistake, okay, it's okay. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I just need to learn from it. And nothing will happen again. And I'm sure that in the future, I may not make the same mistake. I may be more peaceful with myself. I may be like more loving towards myself. Because sometimes when you feel guilty and you give this guilt to yourself, you are not really allowing yourself to love. You don't accept who you truly are. You don't accept that we are here to learn. And this state of not accepting things brings us into that state of being sad in a way, because you're not happy when you are giving guilt to yourself. When you feel guilty, you're not really living in a joyful way. You always have that burden inside. And today is about releasing that burden and know that we are here for the long run. If you expect results with no effort, this isn't really the life that we can live. It's not the time to think about this. It's just the time to give, and see what comes without expecting anything in return. And this could be also with having a business. You have a business, you do what you love. You don't care about results. Of course, you have to pay your bills. Of course, you have to pay everything you need to pay, but there is this idea of serving. You are serving other people. And by serving other people, in a way, you are doing your dharma. And if you are serving them with this love, with this joy of doing this, no matter what happens, you will see how things will shift in a different way. They will shift faster. And when we were talking about Death and Rebirth, the next card that came was the Ace of Cups. And this is about new emotions. So allow new emotions to come by letting go of past emotions, by letting go of what, in a way, was maybe hurting us, or what went wrong with somebody. Just there is this need to let go in order to open the space for the new to come into your life. And this is an invite to really open the space, release. And there are many techniques that will allow you to release. One is breath work. You can do strong pranayama, strong breath work in order to release. And this is what I used to do when I was in a bad mood, in a bad state, and I needed to release things. I tried some pranayamas and they worked in a very good way. So this may work for you as well. I want to see what comes up next and what we can see. There is this emotional withdrawal. I don't really understand this, but this may come from like being in that state of withdrawal. It means that there is no openness. And without openness, we cannot allow other energies in. We cannot allow other people in. It may be about somebody that was hurt in the past, was really hurt, and it's hard to let go. And you are close into yourself and not thinking that something good is possible for you. But remember that this is not true. We don't know anything about our future. We just know about our past, and we know a little about our present, about what we are living. So allow yourself to let go, allow yourself to. This makes me think also about prayer, like pray, like be alone, try to be some moments alone in order to pray, in order to meditate, in order to connect with God and have this relationship with Him. Because just through this relationship, we can release and we can start a new kind of life in this way. This is beautiful. You know, we got two cards that are together. One is the word, and the second that we have is victory and success. So in the end, everything is going to be right. Things are going to be, you are going to be victorious. You are going to be successful with everything you do. And the word comes to say, let go of the past, start with the new life, because that's a new life ahead every day. Every moment we can decide that, okay, from now on, it will be a new life. I will not be still guided by the mind. I want to be guided by the heart. I want to open my heart to God and be in that joyful state. Because every moment that we are not in that joyful state, we are in a way wasting our time on something that is not true. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that will be real when we die is God, is that state of bliss. And so we want to start before, because usually we think that we have to live suffering all our lives in order to get there. But this is not true. We don't have to suffer now. Paradise can be here. Heaven can be here. Your life can be heaven right now. And there is the chance that it will be heaven as soon as you allow yourself to be and not care about external things to impact your happiness, to impact your joy. As soon as you become stable with that, okay, I know where I am, I know where I want to go, I don't care what will happen. I just do my best, give my best, and the result will be fine anyway. So I don't know if you resonated with this reading, but this was very powerful. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, I'm sending so much love, and I'll see you in the next one.